What's going on, YouTube? Akon for a while, Alan Watson, KJ for sheriff, all the above. Mangroves right here is what I was trying to talk about. Being close to the water like that, doing really well, and the banyans, the large banyans that you guys have seen throughout that drop down, they drop their roots down. And you can see over here what a beautiful view, beautiful day. I hope you guys are having a great one. Sorry about the jitteriness. Just seeing how close we can get with the iPhone. Whoa. So, whoa. Okay, yeah, that's like so jittery. Wow. So, listen. There we go. But anyways, y'all, we've got the middle district of Georgia, United States, Lowndes County. Valdosta is the city where the court's actually located, and the city where, the majority of all these things occur. There's a landlocked city where some of this occur too, called Remerton, Georgia. And those people are also responsible for running up taxpayer dollar. Well, just running amok, so to speak, under color of law against the citizens. So, obviously, I'm not the only one talking about this, but you guys can see how beautiful the day is. And I just want you guys to know that this is happening in the United States of America. I wish I could get some more people joining live on YouTube, but I don't really have the people that are following. They don't get a chance to view all the time during the day. Well, look at there. You see that fish? There you go. Skimming across the water there. What a beautiful day, huh? Well, I had to come out and get some sun. And let me tell you about what's going on. All right, guys. I called the magistrate court of Valdosta, where the court's entered in an error. That's one court, but it involves that's where it starts, okay? So nothing can be entered in from this point on without having resolved from an error in the courts that's prior to whatever you've got going on right now, okay? We've already got presumptive prejudice, yeah, that's guaranteed. There's no question about that. I've got evidence that my attorney was supposedly talking to the district attorney, okay? You want to know why there might have been a delay on my behalf? Talk to him. He needs to be reported to the Bar Association. But anyways, you don't do anything. It's like you can report, I'll file and get it. I've got a piece of paper, go ahead and file for him to be looked into, or just make sure he has a complaint against him. But do I know, did he talk to a district attorney or not? Jeremy Baker says no, and he sits there and acts like he doesn't understand law either. You guys don't understand law. You have no business being in there. And I'll talk to you just like that. I don't care what you think you are, what you're trying to do. The truth is the truth. The law is not going to revolve around what you want it to be, okay? You can't change the law. If I drop this is going to fall, okay? Boom. And this is a recycled cup, by the way, and I make my own protein shakes. So if you want to wonder what's going on, yeah, I recycle plastic as much as I can. I recycle stuff. I do little things, we all can do something. But what I have to do, and what you guys need to understand in Lowndes County, what happened to me is that this error has had a lasting effect and didn't get discovered really until 2015. A lot of this stuff did not get discovered until 2015. As far as like some kind of extraordinary appeal, you call up there, they don't even know about that. They don't even have extraordinary appeals going on to where the person answering that's been there a while even knows how to do one or whatever. But in form of pauper is what you have to do, which means filing in the form of a pauper or a poor. You do that first to get clearance to get entry into the courts with your case, okay? That's the first thing you got to do. And no, you can't do it by fax initially. You got to hand it in. So you got to hand this in, this is first and foremost. My case can't go forward. You guys got to know that if you ever go before the court, what they're going to want to know about you is what your prior arrests are or history of anything is, okay? That's a part of your sentencing. That's a part of your judgment, okay? So if you have an error that's been entered in ever since day one, the very first entry into the courts in Lowndes County with me is a flaw, the very first one. So now all other entries are suspect to be flawed. I mean, if the very first entry, you tell me, if you have a system of data, like let's say for instance, like was in the health care field doing clinical laboratory science, and if you have a machine that the very first, output is wrong, but you don't find it till much later, how many patients have you just hurt? How much are you now liable for? It's very serious. Medical malpractice boils down to where the machines are operating. It will boil down right there, because if you have something, but the tech has to check the machine, because the machine has to be calibrated all the time. A human being has always got to come in there and make sure that it's working. You're not gonna have a machine. You're gonna have to have a machine check a machine, and then a machine check a machine if you think you're gonna do that. And that's where Amazon's at now, I guess. They want to have robots doing everything, maybe. But I mean, hey, I'm all for some sustainability. You want to make robots run off of that right there? You want to make them run off the sun right there? They go right on ahead. That's what you need to do. I'm all for that. I'm all for the water. I mean, you guys can use evaporation. You act like you can't use evaporation. You can't make a glass tube. I mean, come on, man. You guys can do all kinds of stuff. We can make a giant beaker out there. I mean, that's just basically powering the entire area off of legitimate water. I mean, and the sun. I mean, you guys are, and not to mention, let's not forget the wind is key. But you can't take away all of the trees. These banyans right there. Look at this banyan. And I said these are the ones that need to be on the border of the ocean here, on the coast here. These beautiful trees do not need to be torn down, okay, or anything like that, moved around, all that stuff. We need to move around them, okay? I mean, hey tree, you're in my way. Oh, that's one of the hey oak tree, you're in my way. That's one of the Leonard Skinner's verses there, right? Leonard, good old Skinner, Yes, I'm from the South. Yeah, I do recognize things from the South. But we were just kind of taking a nice little, break. I was going to tell you about what's going on. You guys have to have your history correct first. You can't go forward in the courts if everything before it is not right. Not to mention, I mean, we should have never went in the first place. But this all had to come full circle. All these people, all the things that these people have done, it all has to come full circle. They have to answer up finally. I'm going to get I need a writ of certiorari. Make sure that we got a ruling from the higher courts that yes, this is not legitimate. There's a fish right there. There's a large fish, right? Maybe some sturgeon. Believe it was. But yeah, there's some higher, and there's the other ones that were jumping there. There's a decision from the higher courts that needs to be handed down as an error. Okay, so they're going to agree with me whenever I enter this. Once they look at it, they're like, wow, he's right. He shouldn't have been allowed to do this. In the state of Georgia, I'm not allowed to enter into a contract under the age of 18 years old. And you got to ask yourself now, who is this malpracticing attorney that jumped in for a petty theft case that should never have been a case at all? I'm taken to the jail, and the other one's not. The co-defendant, that's a minor that's 1 year younger than myself, not even 1 year younger, I don't believe at this point. So I don't know specifically right offhand, but the other minor, that was in the same situation, did not get taken anyway. This one, I guess, or maybe he'll turn of age by the time that he pleads to this or something. See, what if that's what happened? But I didn't do that. I mean, and not only that, I ended up pleading to something that's supposed to be used for a felony, but that was recommended supposedly by the solicitor. So who is culpable at this point? You got all these people, all these characters, but you know that the policy is you would easily be able to look into the system and see how many people are pleading first offenders, okay, with misdemeanors. okay? That's not supposed to be even mentioned, okay? It's not. A misdemeanor is not going to hold you back in your life. It's not, unless it's some kind of like, you know, thing that's going to stand out. You know, like I've had wrongful entries in the court. I've got evidence of that. So, but this is the most damaging. This is the most hinging of all. So we've got this going on in America, y'all, but I've just got to the bottom of this. You ask, well, why are you just now getting to the bottom of this now? Haven't you had this case for a long time? Absolutely not. If you know how the court works, if you know how like a game works, you know, you want to play basketball, or if there's a foul, you don't go forward until your man shoots that foul shot that he's supposed to be shooting whenever he got fouled. You see what I'm saying? I got fouled in the court. I'm supposed to get my free throws. I need my free throws like Shaq, right? But I'm not throwing up bricks. I might be throwing up bricks. I need some hemp bricks to start building. So yeah, I need to throw up some bricks. But whatever. that's gonna be me. So yeah, free throw needed to happen. They didn't call it, and here I am. Now it's free pick time. And y'all, that's an inside joke, but it's definitely free pick for this one, for this convict. I went through the whole system, y'all. I mean, I feel like, what am I, Jesus? I mean, seriously, like I just drugged the cross for the entire county or something. That's what it feels like. But now I'm being rewarded with this beauty. Look at this. I'm saying I am. I mean, you guys are all being rewarded too. Everybody will be rewarded. Alan's been at unease, I guess you could say, for so long that you didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. There was a spell cast on me. It's what it is. It's cast on the public because you got so many people with all these spells cast on them. And I say spells is because they're lies. You got these magicians in there sitting there trying to sell somebody a plea bargain for something that's not supposed to go through the courts. And then you pay for it illegitimately whenever you don't know about it. And so, you know, we got to go through the courts and we'll have it filed. I'm going to be filing in form of paupers. I guess you'll be able to look mine up. And I just, like I said, I tried to see about handling this a different way, but you guys know about it. I'm letting you know no matter what. Like, I'm going to file it. You're going to Google me, everything. I'm going to be famous, whatever. I mean, because you got a large settlement you're talking about, like a major issue with one character being the representative counsel for a boy from the ages of 17 to 18. 3 strikes, boom, 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 all involving the same attorney, not even hired by the boy's family. So, I mean, and then that attorney ends up becoming the head of the public defender's office, John Ken Edwards Sr. His son was acting in some regard to some of these situations. So, I don't know, you know, now you're trying to prove this stuff. They don't like that. But we'll get to the bottom of it, y'all. We'll get to the bottom of it, find out who these squiggle marks are, since, you know, we might not ever find out. I was like, hey, I've got a picture of some squiggle marks here coming from a judge. We need to appeal to this person. Who's this squiggle mark person? Who we got going here? And let's find out. Because I don't remember, y'all. I'm a boy, y'all. I'm telling you, I don't even know. They ran me through that system so fast, I didn't even know what even hit me. I had no clue. It was like a knockout sucker punch, and I've had that shit happen to me before too. And you know who you are, you know, you people that were around me during that time, you know. You guys know what happened? You guys know who I am? I'm not some secret, and I'm not gonna sit here and take any BS from you people either, because I'm gonna handle what I need to handle. I don't know what you're talking about. You might need to look in the mirror, because I'm telling you, this is all a product of people not looking in the mirror. God also needs to look in the mirror. You guys need to stop trying to be the title town, the dumbass. You know, stop trying to be the -- you know, people who bash their brains in all day. You know, like, come on, man. We got higher, you know, accountability than that. Much higher. And like I said before, if you got money right now, you've been charged this whole time to try to help out. I mean, You never even knew. Everybody probably just said, oh, it's just legitimate. You know, he ran through the court system. Nobody checked anything. Nobody even knew what the age of consent was. It's like, what is the age of consent? You look it up, it's 18, okay? That's the age of consent, you know? I mean, it's like, and then you're like, well, what's the age of consent for sex? It's 16 in the state of Georgia. Well, why? I don't know. You ask the people. Why is that? Why can a person sign a contract at 18 but then consent to sex at 16? That's a pretty secret. I mean, that's a pretty, but you know, that's a consensual thing. Like, but you still can be manipulated, obviously, but especially in some legal thing where you're bound by this. Like, this is not a correct spell. So we see this was just like the Harry Potter spell, right? It didn't work. Voldemort tried to grab the wand and use it against Potter, but he couldn't do anything because Potter basically already knew that he didn't have possession of that wand. You couldn't use it to the full maximum potential that he thought he was going to be able to use it. But that's the error in the courts. So you want to talk about magic, Harry Potter relationship, or you name it, Lord of the Rings, you name it. We're all charged with all this stuff. Like I said, more money, the more fake money you have, the more monopoly money you have, the more you're going to be charged. Just like me, when I settle this, you don't think I'm going to be charged and have responsibility to the people after I get all this? I mean, I'm going to take all this, but y'all, I'm going to make it used for something good. I'm going to be sitting around, you know, playing games all day. The only reason I do this stuff is to let you know what happened. I try to give beauty at the same time. I don't try, I do. I deliver when it comes to beauty. I deliver when it comes to getting to resolve. I deliver. These other people don't. Let me tell you who, let me show you, you know, once again, but like I say, these other people, everybody in the county, there's not really many people standing up for the rights of the citizen. So, what's up, guys? Right here, standing up for your rights. KJ for sheriff. The death of Kendrick Johnson is important, okay? It does matter. I don't care if Kendrick Johnson was purple, if he was gray, if he was polka dotted. Doesn't matter. His life matters. My life mattered. My entry in the court mattered 21 years ago. And your malpractice mattered 20 years ago too, because it's a fraud. Is what it is. You pulled a fraud on the entire state of Georgia and the United States of America and the world. I mean, congratulations, guy. I mean, you're gonna go down in history as that guy. The 4 generations of one of the major slave states, I get in the in the United States. And I'll say that because that's what this is. It all turned into slavery. I got judged for this garbage illegitimately and went through the whole process of the punishment, that's this so-called punishment that you're giving me. I had to do fines, I had to do community service, I had to do, you name hours, hundreds of hours of community service through all these illegitimate times of being interacted with, because I'm gonna go right on down the road. I've been targeted because of this stuff too, y'all. So you ask yourself, what matters when you go in front of the court? The previous entries into your record. That's what matters. That's the first thing they're going to ask you. That's the first thing they're going to look at when they sentence you or anything. All that. That's what they're going to look at. And if it's not right, then they can't have a legitimate entry into the courts. And you say, well, all right, we'll get to it, you know, right? Yeah, get to it, and we'll appeal, because that's all it is. I mean, I can just show appeal. I've got a picture right now. I've already posted it. Posted on Facebook. And I got three sets of exoneration papers for the two sets of charges in 99 and one charge in 1997. And then there's the one in 1998 that should have never have had anything entered in at all either. That's the same attorney as well. I didn't have a chance to appeal. They trumped up charges on me. He trumped up the cannabis all the way up to a felony because of multiple bags. He went straight in my pocket. I had no argument at all. Nobody stood up for me, and of course you understand why. Because you got somebody operating in the courts that's not a legitimate person. They're in my face illegitimately. I've already broken it all down. I'm telling you, you already know what happened. If you watch the last like 2-3 broadcasts from me, you already know what happened to me. You can break it on down. But you know, I just wanted to give you guys a taste of Palm Beach. And watch your step, because you might walk in dog poo by accident. There's a lot of dog lovers in this area, but it's really beautiful. And you guys, I'm keeping you up to date. You'll be the first ones to know. I'm not discriminating. YouTube, I don't really hate you at all. You know, I'm disappointed in you guys. You guys are supposed to be innocent, but we realize that there is a level of manipulation that you got to get to, and that's the level that matters. That's what makes the point. The key point, the chief cornerstone, care, is using that to get to the bottom of what's going on in your life. And thank God I've finally done that. I'm 38 years old. It's been 21 years. There's my sacred completion number, 777. Wow. I mean, how do you even explain that? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in a higher power out there? Do you believe in like, you know, what I love from Jordan Maxwell is the divine presence of the universe. If you haven't checked out Jordan Maxwell, he is one of the pioneers, definitely not one of the major pioneers to unleashing knowledge to the public that has been occulted. And Mark Passio is just really just reversed whatever that he has done against the public, against the people, humanity, against the earth and environment. He's trying to dig himself out karmatically. Okay, that's a term. I mean, that's a term I'm making up, I guess, but that's the spiritual term that one has to go through. We all have battles. We all have to go through little battles, and we have to understand to get through. You know, we got to understand how to get through, not overlook it. See, I went walking way past whenever I was supposed to go right here, but I didn't have anybody say, hey, Alan, there's a space. Let's say, for instance, I'm walking in my path in life. I'm a boy. I'm walking. I'm 17 years old. Boom, I come to this right here, but I just keep walking. And I'm just like, there's no other way out, you guys. You know, nobody ever told me. And then, you know, I couldn't get to the bottom of that, because once you're hammered with like a punishment at that point, then you're stunned. You're not able to just, you're not even thinking. Obviously, I didn't think there was any remedy. If I did, I would have done that. But the way they come at these people, me and other people, I'm sure there's plenty of evidence. They'll go to somebody who's got a misdemeanor. It's not even supposed to be in there in the first place, like me. But I mean, they might not call it out, y'all. They might think the only thing they can do is nothing, and that this is a good thing. I'm gonna enter in this court illegitimately, you know, waiving my rights to understand what the First Offender Act even is. I mean, basically, because if you don't know what it is, you've never read it, how are you gonna plead it? You can't, especially if you're not even legally able to sign the contract. But what I'm saying is that these people are recommending these first offender things illegitimately. It's not built for that. It's not built for that at all. Read it. Read it in the state of Georgia. Read what it does. It's not for some little thing that's not have any lasting effect on your record whatsoever. I mean, you got something that's going to be handled within a day, and you can say, well, yeah, well, if you get charged with something as a misdemeanor, it looks bad. It doesn't matter what charge it is. You're right. But it does matter the level of severity, just as much as you want to get people that have had wrongful convictions, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, should be anybody who cares about life's opinion, anybody who's been suffering with some punishment for a plant. I mean, I don't care what it is. I mean, what if you eat, if you eat enough of this, you're gonna die. I mean, what you gonna do, ban it? And then we can't have, let's chop it all down and burn it. Because one moron chose to just, whatever, extract something from this and then eat it and then die. I mean, you got apples too. You're gonna ban apples? Apple seeds have killed somebody, but they had to eat a whole cup full of them. That's a lot. That's like a poison. I mean, that's a definite poison. You don't want to have that much in there. He didn't eat the apple. If he would have ate the whole apple, he wouldn't have been able to do that. But you extract something, yeah, you're in dangerous territory. Just as much as you can get diabetes with a whole bunch of extracted processed sugar, right? So these people that have been in trouble, quote unquote, you know, for these situations, fish are jumping right now. These people that have been, when the water like starts making like crackling noises and stuff, and that's whenever you'll see the jumping fish. I'm sure you'll see one. I just want to clarify what this first offender stuff is, okay? You don't have the kind of punishments that are appropriate for what these so-called criminals are having. Like I was trying to break down, was with these people who've been charged with a plant, major charges, life sentences, even just all kind of stuff like that. We don't want that, but you will have this kind of activity going on whenever you have incentive to make sure that somebody becomes a felon. There is incentive to do this, because once you have somebody becoming a felon, then they can only do certain types of jobs. And then, oh, conveniently, Valdosta is full of those types of jobs. Those types of jobs are like the major factory jobs, and they're going to run it right on the dirt. They already have. Snake Nation Road ran straight in the dirt. Look at it, Google Maps. Look at it. Take this video down. I'm going to go ahead and call you out. I know who you are. I know who somebody, I don't know specifically who you are, but I'm just telling you, I know what's going on. This whole town has been a victim, and it's just been like a radius, like a nuclear bomb of just negative spirituality or whatever just went off, starting in Clowns County or Lowndes County, and just this whole area is just enslaved. I represent those people. I know that it's frustrating probably watching me. I mean, I don't know, you know, because you guys are like, well, how is he always, he's always at some beautiful place that I want to be. Well, what have you been through for 21 years? What have you been doing? I've been fighting these people. I don't even know what was going on with my life. So, I mean, how dare you challenge me? How dare you even say anything? I mean, I'm serious. I want you to sit in my shoes and go through what I went through. Matter of fact, we can go toe to toe. I don't even care. You a big badass or something? I'm talking to some of you out there. You guys don't even understand. I'm going to give you all what I got every time I can get a chance. I'm tired of the ignorances. You guys in the jail system making it harder on yourselves. You don't stand up for anything. And then you want to sit there and act like you're a part of some gang, and you're so badass and you're so macho or whatever. It's like, stand up for yourselves and help each other, and stop sitting there trying to like demonize each other, you know, calling each other a reference to slavery non-stop, which, hey, I'm doing the same thing. You know, you don't like it if it's just like me saying the N-word all day right now, to make sure you understand where we came from. I do know that, okay? I don't know every single story of slavery, but I know there's what's happened recently, and that's what matters. That's what matters is right now. It doesn't matter. You sit there and talk about something that happened 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, 100 years ago. It doesn't matter. What happens is yesterday is what matters. In your lifetime, what have you done? Like I said, in the past 21 years, what have I done? I'll break it right on down for you. Through all of the hardship, I still acquired something. But it's not enough. It was not enough. It was now, I mean, I had to go through the whole process for you to know out there how detrimental this was. This is not something that just goes away instantly. You can't just go boom, just like, oh, well, we're changing it on record for you. Congratulate, you know, good luck getting your life back. You know, stuff like that, you know. But you have got, you can't get this access, excuse me, a lot of times in the jail. I'm telling you, y'all, I mean, it's not as accessible as you think it is. And you got too many people in your face. You go to a meeting, you can't even trust your locker box is not going to get broken into while you're gone. I mean, it's not even broken into because there's no way to lock anything. You have no privacy. You got all these fake people around you a lot of the times that are just in la-la land playing cards with milk cartons or what, you name it. I mean, you name it. Playing dominoes with flip-flops. I mean, they'll do anything they can to avoid what they have to do. And don't look at me like I'm slacking, because I promise you, I just got the ball in my court and filed something last month. Now, I gave them the entire month to say anything. They didn't say anything when I filed. And according to what I understand now, is that you have got to have a request for a hearing yourself. I mean, they're not going to just say, hey, we got your facts. Do you want to set an appointment? We've got these dates. No. We're going to have another phone call for that. I mean, really? Oh, let's have another facts about that or something, you know, like another controversy or something. Like, it's just, there's error in the court all day in this particular case here too. They can just sit there and try to ignore that, and then you just go appeal that. And what 12 is going to sit there and convict themselves? They're going to convict themselves, and it's like, you know, when I say that, you basically are going to say that it's okay to enter in stuff in the court's wrong and all this stuff by ignoring this and ignoring obviously the KJ case. And why does the KJ case matter? It's the same sheriff involved in my case. I brought it up while I was being arrested illegally, illegally surveilled, all this stuff. They come over and attack me right when after I found fraud in the courts. I discover fraud in the courts, and the clerk of courts knows about it. I get attacked. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You get racially profiled. You get it all. You get everything you can name. All that, just check it right on off. You name it, whatever you want. We got racial profiling. If you got a list, you know, you're going up to order some food, you know, through the drive-through here in Clowns County. What you're gonna get? Hey, I'd like to order an entree of racial profiling, and let's have, you know, a second entree, you know, on top of that, including malpractice in the courtroom, you know, after we illegally arrest you. We're gonna have illegal searches and seizures all day, every day, and if you just bat your eye, you basically have indicated that you are now in need of psychiatric evaluation. If you just bat your eye, if you just look at the person according to these public pretenders, and your demeanor, quote unquote, changes or something like that, it's like, what? What demeanor is changing? There is no demeanor. You're filing a motion to suppress evidence with no clear and concise, you know, to the point reasoning on record, like telling me that you don't know what you're doing. So you know what you're doing as far as trying to run people through the system. I know that, but you haven't been put in check like this before. And if you have, I don't know about it, and the people do need to know about it. So I mean, hey, let's get to it, y'all. That's what I'm here to do. And like I said, I don't have any problem with you out there. You got a problem with me, I think you need to look in the mirror. Big time, because you have no idea what I've been through. I know a lot of you got poverty, you got all kinds of situations, you got children, all that stuff. Look, man, I chose not to do all that stuff. I could have done that and made my life even worse. I mean, I'm saying, y'all, this world's not pretty, like, to every degree. I mean, it's beautiful, but the people are going to destroy it, make it worth nothing if we're not careful. But like I said, you don't have a problem with me out there. You got a problem with, when I say yourselves, your local governments. That's you. That's what world you live in. I understand you've been in the world of Sesame Street. I understand you're in the world of Cartoon Land, okay? I do know that. I'm not stupid. It's an attack on you. It was all planned, and your little Fruit Loops and all that, your Lucky Charms, your Reese's Pieces, your Kit Kat, your Coke, all that, your diet anything, has all been planned against you. And I'm telling you that. So you got something against me? Okay, good, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and go over what I just said first and deal with your own family and your own mouth. What are you doing? You know, like I said, you need to support me. I'm here for your family, your children. Crazy ass, this whatever the heck. I mean, I don't even know what the heck people are. You guys are insane. Literally. I mean, you guys had way too much BPA, way too much aluminum toxicity, way too much mercury. Anybody out there getting flu shots and stuff all the time. You see Donald Trump and his wife calling it out and say, look, I've been telling you, look at me, I'm successful. I can think. I don't take this garbage. As a matter of fact, I'm so aware, I'm not going to let my staff take it either. Hello, McFly. I've told you that before, McFly. But hey, I'm done with being sarcastic. I'm done with trying to be rude to people, because to me, that's all that these people have been doing lately. I mean, you've got these people in this movement, quote unquote, that all they're doing is just making fun of other people instead of offering solutions. You're not garnering support for a big movement. I don't see. I mean, we got Donald Trump in the presidency, y'all. Hey, that's major. That's major. We got to support him still. I mean, obviously, we got to see some indictments, though. You got to see some indictments. You got to see people fired. You have seen that. But we're looking really close. Donald Trump mentioned dark forces in the United States. So beware of that. That's what I've been saying, too. So if anybody who's known me knows I've been saying this stuff for a long time. And yes, I've limited all of my quote-unquote friends on Facebook, you know, here and there. But hey, that doesn't matter, y'all. I did that for whatever reasons, feeling, you know, deep-seated emotions about, you know, betrayal, okay? And trying to keep my circle close and, you know, tight to where I know what's going on in the community. I'm gonna call out what's wrong. I'm not some like superhero, y'all. I'm a man who's just gonna stand up for his rights and your rights. You know, so because it involves you, but it does involve me. But I'm not the type of person I'm gonna sit back and just shut up about it and not say anything. This needs to be a case. This needs to be in the public. It needs to go to the Valdosta Daily Times. I mean, but I'm assuming for enough, I guess you'll hear about it. Like Kendrick Johnson, once you sue these people for enough money, then it gets in the public's eye at that point. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna work on proving the error. I already have proof, but I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure it's known, okay, that I was a minor during this situation, which was completely overlooked. But hey, let's just, you know, we'll get to it. So now you know where we stand. 11th Circuit, 11th Circuit, Middle District of Georgia, Lowndes County, Valdosta, Georgia, United States of America. Over and out.